Yo guys, Wrestling Figs, we're back. We're here at San Diego Comic-Con 2011 with Bill Kerner. Boss Bill, by his own admittance. How you doing, Bill?
Right. I'm doing great. How you doing, man?
Good. I'm doing good. Thanks for talking to us. Thanks for having us out. You know, it's been really amazing. You guys brought out the big guns, right?
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, this has been great, man. You know, Triple H, you know, Bret Hart. It's been, you know, really a cool weekend so far. Yeah.
What about CM Punk?
Oh, yeah, and the CM Punk came in. You know, it's great to be a part of the storyline. Whenever you can be a part of the storyline, it's cool.
Out of control, right?
I can't wait to get home and see it on YouTube and wherever else it's going to be.
I peed my pants. So, yeah, Bill just got done having Undertaker pick his ear clean. So, you know, we're having a good time here right now.
We're bonding, actually, Triple H, yeah.
Whichever top-level guy it is, they're all the same.
You promised me you'd cut that stuff out, right?
So we're going to talk business for a minute. We got all those new figures on display. We've got a bunch of stuff going on. As far as pieces over there, what's standing out for you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's there's some really cool stuff out there. You know, the Bret Hart with the Canadian flag is really cool. There's a couple pieces over there that, you know, we're trying to get fans reaction from. It's like the CM Punk, the more dynamic pose figure. I don't know if you guys seen that over there. Go the gobbledygookers over there that we're thinking about, you know, at some point. But, you know, we got a lot of fun stuff doing right now. And all you Legends collectors, I hope that we've answered all your questions.
Speaking of answering questions,
there's a segue.
What do I have right here, huh? Everybody's questions that I picked this time around. No more 8-page lists. Sorry. What color hair is blah, blah, blah going to have? Just kidding, guys. We're short on time. I'm wasting Bill's time right now as I speak. But here we are, and I've got some pretty good, solid questions that I thought were going to be pretty definitive. So if you don't mind.
Is this a test? This is a test, right?
This is, of course, it's a test. It's always a test.
All right.
First and foremost, why the transition to molded clothes?
You know, a couple reasons for that. You know, in some cases it makes sense. In a couple cases we can get the detail that we want, you know, especially in things that have a lot of appliques and texture in them. It makes sense. But, you know, the honest God's truth, you know, soft goods costs are becoming increasingly, an issue for us. And, you know, frankly, you know, it makes a lot more sense for us to make some things in a tooled mode, I guess, if you want to call it that, rather than do it in soft goods these days. And, you know, in a lot of ways we can make things look a little bit better in the molded stuff. We're still working on the durometers of the stuff to make sure that it fits right. And we know you guys had some issues with, you know, some of the jackets being a little bit too stiff, but we're working on those issues. You know, for you guys that know, you know, the softer you make it, the more chance you have of it staining. So we have to really work those issues out, you know, and make sure that we get that right. But that, you know, we seem to be moving more towards that, though.
Right. You know? From what I can tell so far, the pliability is really improving, and it's just it's working. You're doing the right things, whatever steps it is that you're taking.
Yeah, it is getting there. And I mean, there are some limitations in materials that we can use because of some licensing issues, but generally we're working with, you know, some new materials. We're looking for some better vinyls to use that are a little bit more stable. So we're working to try to get you guys the best material for this stuff, so it works for you guys and it looks great. That's the two things, you know, we want to make sure it happens. You know?
Totally, definitely. Okay, next question. Since guys like Diesel and Booker T are absent from the Legends poll, the Legends poll that was just put up, is it safe to assume that more marketable names like that are planned for release via the Elite line?
Yeah, you might be able to say that, but you know what? I don't think that that we're thinking about it necessarily in that way. I think, you know, the reason for the strategy change is to make sure there's a couple of things that putting things on Matty Collector will do for us. It'll allow us to put the entire run of what we do in one place. So everybody in the world literally will know where it is, can get it. Because one of the bigger problems that people had with the Legends line was, I can't find it. You know, a store may get one, a store may get two, you know, things like that. And some people never had access to them. Now with the entire run being on Matty Collector of a particular figure, we all know where to go to get it. Everybody will have an equal opportunity to go find them. And I think ultimately, based on what we showed you the other day, is you guys are going to see, maybe not more, but an equal number of Legends coming out over the next year. You know, we're trying to do it a little bit more strategically to reach you guys a little bit more effectively, you know.
Stay tuned.
Straight. No, I'm never
No,
saying
no,
that.
no. I almost got him. Huh? Huh?
I promise never to use that term.
Okay, fair enough. So next question, how often will we be seeing Elite flashback figures? We saw the Mass Kane today. That was in Elite Series 12. Is that going to be one per line, or is it like one every other line?
I believe initially we're one or two per series, right? We're going to be doing. So you're going to see, one or two every other month, essentially, right? The course of the year. So you're going to get 12 figures a year, possibly 10 to 12 figures a year.
They're there, basically.
So that that's a good number. I think that's a good number for Legends. We don't want to put too many out. It's the same thing. We have to, the bottom line for us is we have to get them out on the market at the rate that they're willing to sell. I mean, that's really, that's a basic business thing that we have to do. We don't want to not do it. I get you guys have to understand, but we have to do it in a way that makes sense for all of us. That way we can make it last forever. If we go too fast and we're going to get into the situation we were in initially, which is what we don't want to do. So listen, we're going to try to do it the best way to keep it going as long as we can. That's our goal. That's our goal.
Excellent.